What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ. Today is Tuesday, so you already know we're back for NIKKI BANZ Live. And today is the Naija Takeover. Hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. What's Gucci party, people? It's your girl, NIKKI BANZ here for NIKKI BANZ Live. And I am so excited for today. Yo, we're gonna have an incredible show. I can already tell you. We got the Afro beats in the background. It's about to be live, y'all. Today's guest has me feeling all sorts of hyped. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's get this party cracking. Hold up. You know I like the sound effects, you know. All right, everybody, today is Tuesday, and we are here with NIKKI BANZ Live. Every single Tuesday, I am bringing you incredible interviews with the most fascinating people around the world. Actors, rappers, entertainers, artists, activists, entrepreneurs. I am bringing them all to you from all over the world, whether it's Kenya, Malawi, Nigeria, the USA, South Africa. I'm taking you all around the globe with the most interesting people that I know. And tonight's guest, Tobi Bakre, is no exception. He's an actor, he's a model, he's an entrepreneur, and he's a reality television superstar. And he is from Lagos, Nigeria. Even though I don't think he's there right now, we're gonna find out exactly where he is on the show. But I'm just so excited. Remember, party people, we do this every single Tuesday, 8 to 9 p.m. here in Cape Town, South Africa, 7 to 8 p.m. in Lagos, Nigeria. I think it's noon to 1 in Houston, Texas. You know, we got all the time zones I'm trying to navigate. Sorry to my folks in Asia. You know, I know it's quite late for you all. All right, everybody, I see we got a lot of people hopping on, and I know that the guest of the hour is already here. I cannot wait to bring this man on. I'm telling you, we're going to have such a dynamic conversation with the one and only Nigeria's finest, Tobi Bakre, everybody. All right. If y'all are ready, let me see something in the chat box. Also, let me just say, shout out to Instagram. I finally have the chat box back. Woo! The way I have been struggling the past 4 or 5 weeks of guests, I haven't been able to see the chat, haven't been able to see the comments. I see Tobi's in there chatting. It's the energy from me. We about to get all the energy from you too, my guy, is coming right to you. So shout out Carrie, shout out Lena, shout out Kai, shout out Melanie, shout out Julia. I can see all of y'all finally. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you, Instagram. I have been struggling without my chat box. Welcome one, welcome all. I know y'all like to hear me talk, but it's not about me tonight. It's about Tobi, so I'm going to bring him on now. We know he's here. I see my mom has tuned in. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. All right, let me get a little drum roll going, and I'm going to bring on Tobi, the man of the hour. Let's get it, party people. Here we go.
NIKKI BANZ. Hey, it's the energy.
What? You already know, Tobi. You already know I had to come correct with all of this energy for you. I have been trying to get you on the show for months, and we finally made it happen.
Yep. I'm here finally, man. It's good to be talking to you. Makeup on fleek. Energy on fleek. I'm so happy to be here, guys. For everybody following from her page, my page, welcome to this talk session. We have two amazing hosts in the house, so I'll leave the hosting to you while I'll be the talent. But energy, I'm very happy to be here. By the way, just know, you sent me what it's gonna be about. I already have a bit of the idea it's gonna go, but I didn't even read all of the questions that might come up because I want to answer as original. I want my answers to be as original, as unexpected, and just unscripted as possible. So I'm here with you live and direct, all the way from with Nigerian blood and vibes, but all the way in the US at the moment. But let's get it cracking.
Yes, exactly. You're all the way in the United States. It's so funny because you're from Nigeria, coming to us from the United States. I'm from the United States, coming to us from South Africa. So we international,
Okay.
baby.
Okay, that's how we do. That's how we roll.
Exactly, exactly. Oh my gosh, Tobi. Yes, from one MC, one host to another, it is such a treat to have you here. You know, if you decide that you want to, hop on, do your thing a little bit, we're going to let you shine however you want to shine.
Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're welcome to today's episode of it's not Tobi Live, it's NIKKI BANZ Live. We're coming to you with a lot of beautiful information, knowledge, tips, and whatnot. By the way, engage with us in comment section, engage with us, ask questions as much as possible, and let's have a good time. I'm here for 1 hour of fun and learning and talking and all that great stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And remember, I'm going to be asking Tobi a bunch of questions, but y'all can ask questions to Tobi as well. If you're looking on your phone right now, if you're on your phone, what I want you to do is look at the bottom section. There's like a little thought bubble with a question mark in it. You can tap on that and you can type questions so that the last 10, 15 minutes of the show, I can ask Tobi every single question that you all have in the chat. There's going to be like so many comments in the chat. We're not going to be able to see it if it's there. So make sure you put it in that little thought bubble with the question mark. All right. Let's get this show started. Okay, Tobi, first and foremost, I always like to start the show. I like to start NIKKI BANZ Live by telling the people who are on the show, the people who are rewatching, on YouTube, how I know the people who I'm interviewing. And so for you, it's kind of an interesting story because we've never actually met in person.
Yep.
We've never met in person, unfortunately. Soon come.
Definitely has to happen.
Exactly, but we met working on a project together earlier this year, this big $15 million USAID project called YPE4AH. They're setting up these like
By the way, big shout out to my dad. My daddy's on.
Hi, Dad!
Daddy's on. That means
oh my God.
Watching too.
I love it. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Our parents are so supportive. Shout out to the fam bam.
Love them.
I love it. So yeah, so we were collaborating on this big project. They're working on these youth hubs all over Lagos and Kano to provide young people with access to sexual health information, safe spaces. And you were the brand ambassador on this project that I was working on. And so that's how we first connected, which is just so incredible.
That was amazing for me too. Like part of one major reason why I love to do all I do is just to have that voice to be able to help people live an exemplary life and also just impact people, by just doing what we do.
100%. And I think, that's going to be one of the things that I chat with you about, Tobi. You are so dynamic. It's not just acting. It's not just, being sponsored or being a brand ambassador. There's actually so many different things that you're a part of and that you're engaged in. So I'm trying to get into all of it. But first and foremost, I want to talk a little bit about your journey to where you are now, because I think your journey for some would be, kind of unconventional. You started out in finance. You started off as an investment banker and a financial analyst, and then you ended up on Big Brother Naija. So talk to us, like, how did that happen? Like, talk to us about the journey from the finance industry into entertainment.
Okay, so first of all, I'm the son of an entertainer. My father is also like the ultimate entertainer who is in banking. My dad has been in banking like for all of life. And by the way, he's the MD of a bank. We'll get all of that later. But for me, growing up, I was always interested in the arts. I had a very outgoing personality and I loved fine art. I could paint, I could draw. Like that was all I saw myself doing as a little kid. But then as I grew up, when you get in Nigeria, when you get to the stage you're going into university, is in these days your parents will allow you that, what do you want to do? Go ahead and do it, But back then, parents were more concerned about security, like based off of what we know, how are you going to be able to fend for yourself? So the idea of fine arts wasn't a big idea back then. So, my parents were more of the opinion of, let's get something that is bankable and you can always rely on. And after you get into that, you could go ahead and do whatever it is you want. So that was what happened. So I studied finance in University of Lagos, Unilag. Shout out to my Unilag folks in the house. So I did finance for 4 years, and then I got into banking and I worked for 4 years. And, I kind of I enjoyed banking because it was, I love learning. So my personality, I like to try out different stuff. I love learning different stuff. But one thing I've also learned is you can't keep me down. Don't hold me in one place, man. I'm a man that likes to do
Yes.
everything. I like to do a bit of everything, and the bank didn't give me that flexibility. I was a photographer while in the bank, and the bank, when it comes to banking, it can feel a bit mundane depending on your personality. So if it pretty much just felt like, man, every other day I knew what was gonna happen, get my reports done, do my trading, investments and whatnot. And then the Nigerian market wasn't so interesting at the time because a lot of what we used to do as financial traders, based on the Nigerian economy, we couldn't do so much of it anymore. So it wasn't so interesting. So I started to feel a bit redundant, and I'm like, you know what? I need a break to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. And then the Big Brother opportunity came, and then I never really watched Big Brother, but I used to see it on the show, and I'm like, I'll be a great guy on. Like, people are gonna love me on here. Like, I always had that feeling. And then when I finally decided to try, on my first day, like, I wasn't so particular about it. So on my first day, I just took my power bike, feeling cool. I think I went for a photo shoot somewhere, so I was gonna just stop by and do the audition. And then I go to the audition, and the queue, like, thousands of people outside. And then on my way back home, like, I was on my power bike and the rain hit. It started to rain, so I got drenched. My passport, everything, I was drenched on my power bike. And I'm like, you know what? You're gonna go for this audition. Like, all this suffering can't be for nothing. So the next day, from the club, we were in the club till about 5 a.m. We're in the
I
club,
love
and
it.
then
I love it.
myself and my friend, we just went back to my place. We didn't have a bath. We just brushed, washed our faces, changed clothes, and then headed off to the audition area. And the rest is history, pretty much. So even getting into Big Brother, it wasn't like I had the idea of, when I do this, I want to come out and act, host, do all of this stuff. For me, it was just, okay, take a break and then navigate, somewhere else where you kind of have more fun with what you would do with your life.
Oh my gosh. I think it's the confidence for me, it's the resilience for me, it's the
Yeah.
perseverance, like
Like
straight from the club to
a
the
lot of people,
audition.
a lot of people go for auditions with the mindset of, I hope I get chosen. Like, genuinely, not to be boastful, but I went there like, you guys need me. Like, in my head,
Yes.
I'm like, if it's not me, who else will it be? Like, I work out, I'm a finance guy, I have a social life, I have it all. Like, you guys need me. And then the energy kind of showed, and they're like, yeah, he's gonna be a great guy on the show. And.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that. You're teaching us all right now to move through the world with this like unbridled confidence. You're like,
Confidence,
look,
that's it.
at the end of the day, it's not me who needs this job. It's this job who needs me. And
That's
don't ever
it.
forget it.
That's it. That's it.
I love that. That's some life advice that I need to internalize, Tobi. Next time I do anything, I'm not even gonna ask. I'm just gonna say, I'm here. It's my moment. It's me. And if you must see that.
If you can't get with it, someone else will. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so talk to us about what the experience was like on Big Brother, because like at the end of the day, like Big Brother is this show where like they are filming your every single movement, your every single moment. It's all being recorded, every single room, every single outdoor area, and for you to hop on Big Brother Niger and have like you're living in this like microcosm. Did it feel like that, or was it just like super exciting every single
Nah,
day with all the competitions and everything you were
for
doing?
me, it was plainly exciting. Like, there's no time of my life where the Big Brother experience won't be like a topic, because even outside of everything that has happened after, even being in the house was quite an experience. Because one thing I love is meeting people, and now this gave me the avenue
Mm.
to live with people. Like, all my life is my friends, my family. I can choose people I want to be around with, but this time around, it was not on my terms. Like, I had to live and be with people like I never met, and we all had equal standings. Like, you're not bigger than me, I'm not bigger than you. I could do it if I want to. I will not do it if I don't want to, and nobody's gonna do anything. So it was a totally different background. But for me, I loved it because a lot of the things that has to do with the competition, friendships, relationships, just things that make you feel human. Those are the things that kind
Mm.
of we all had in the house. So for me, it was quite an experience. You know, competition wise, I was heading it. Relationship wise, I was heading it, and every other way. Every other way possible, I was heading it. So it was very interesting. So for me, it was never really about the cameras. Of course, I knew the cameras were there, but I went there just with the mindset of I'm gonna have fun, and you know what, enjoy it for what it is.
100%, 100%. I love that, Tobi. And I feel like, it just seemed like going on the show for you was such a smooth and seamless transition. You knew you wanted to be a star. You knew you could be a star. So you hop on the show, and then clearly you never went back to finance. So what happened? What was the aftermath after the show? Did you then what was it pretty smooth as you started getting into acting, getting into TV? Like, was that transition really easy for you, or did it kind of take some time to adjust with the fact that all of a sudden you had this big following and everybody kind of knew who you were after the show?
So that was the scary part. But one smart thing I think I did was before going on the show, that's the power of relationships. As humans, you can have it all. My uncle, who we're living with currently, told me something. He was practical. He put a phone on the table, and he's like, "That's Uncle Falari." He told me, like, lift the phone, try and get the phone with one hand. And I'm like, it's not happening. And he's like, with the hands on. I'm like, yeah, that's normal. And he's like, that's just how life is. A lot of times people try to do things alone, but really you always need people. So that was one of the things I kind of had at the back of my mind. Like, you definitely need people in life. You can't do it all by yourself. So in terms of getting into the show and, everything I knew my personality could bring, I knew I had that on lock. But then navigating through what was going to happen next, I had no clue. So I have a sister, Adora. So everybody that knows my background or knows how far I've come knows Adora. Adora is an intellectual. Like, she sees potential and she knows how to navigate and what to do and how to, make this thing flourish. So I knew Adora was a person to go to. So we kind of had a sit down before I went to the show, and I'm like, I'm going for this. I don't know what's going to happen after, but I know you're someone who's going to be able to, direct the flow of things. So, but before going into the house, I kind of had somebody who was looking out for opportunities. Like, okay, you did this. Okay, this can be commercialized. Okay, you did that. Okay, that can be commercialized. Okay, I can talk. Yeah, so I had that. So by the time I came out of the house, by the time you come out, it's a lot of noise. Like, it's a lot of love. Let me not say noise. Too much love that you can handle. Like, I came out of the airport, I almost ran back in. Like, it was hundreds of people, drums, posters. In my mind, I'm like, are they teasing? Like, even all the way from South, because the show was in South Africa then, all the way from South Africa, people were in the airport like, Tobi, take pictures. And I'm like, are these people joking? Like, are they? And then that was just the tip of that. When we got to Nigeria, it was crazy. And then I'm like,
gosh.
oh, it's on now, baby. I also happy to see family.
My gosh.
My dad and my mom, like, those are my ultimate supporters. They were there at the airport to get me alongside every other person in the family. So after that, it was just pretty much plenty things started to come at me. A lot of things. And, at that time, I didn't win. Just in case there's some people here thinking, oh, he must be the winner. No, I didn't win. I was like the second runner up. And, I didn't win. So it was zero. It was minus maybe a few things I won from challenges and whatnot. It was like back to square one. So you're like a broke famous face, a broke celebrity, back to, So what are you going to do, boy? So,
right.
So then it now took too many opportunities started to come at me. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything was coming. And, it took a proper mindset, or how do I put it, divine intervention, so to say, to kind of know, like, okay, this will make sense in the future. This you don't have to take. And thanks to the team I had, my brother was also actively involved. Tobi Bakre, big shout out to my brother. My brother was actively involved. So we're able to kind of pick and choose, like, okay, maybe you should try this. Like, let's see what it turns out to be. And then my management was also able to create some opportunities. And outside of everything that came, we kind of filtered, okay, try this, try that. And in between all of that, I kind of was able to now choose, okay, I enjoy this. Okay, this is profitable. Okay, I should learn this. Okay, I need to build on this, build on that. And, that's how I eventually got to that's how I'm eventually where I am today, doing all the things I do.
I think one of the themes that keeps coming up quite regularly in what you're saying, Toby, is, you know, it's your sister, it's your brother, it's your uncle, it's your parents. So
Family,
clearly,
family.
family, it's it's family first for you, you know. And I think that's so special. Like, tell me more about this role that your family plays in your life, and sort of the importance, you know, of keeping your family close and having those tight relationships with your blood.
Okay, so for me, first of all, I'm almost like a protein. I'm like my dad literally, except like facially we look alike, but like my dad literally spit me out. So I have a lot of my dad's behaviors, characters, mannerisms, a lot of things I picked from my dad. And you know, growing up, a lot of how my mindset was built was what I witnessed in the family, you know, my parents, and then my dad would literally speak to us for hours every other weekend. Like my dad would share his life experiences, my mom would share hers. So we kind of learned life from, you know, their life experiences and what we saw happening to
Mm-hmm.
them. And then, you know, and also I was very I would say I was a bit I was emotionally intelligent. So like put me in a room, it doesn't take too much time to decipher what is what, you know, my boundaries, who I can relate to on what, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So being equipped with all of that from my family roots and with love, you know, because love is very important. Because regardless of what was going to happen, I knew I always had family to go back to, you know. I knew I had a support system regardless of, you know, I make it or I fail or I do good or I do bad. You know, family is what it is for me. And thank God I have a supporting family. So they were always there from the onset. Like people were in my dad, first of all, was big brother. Because this is like my dad is a finance and he's like you're on the road to becoming a finance guy. Like what's big brother? But then he was able to recognize like, you know, I see that side of you and I'm going to allow you explore it. You know, I'm not going to hold you back. So when we had that conversation, like I'm going to go on this show, it's like, okay, you try it out, but you know, at the same time, insurance, have a plan B in case it doesn't work out. Yeah, and well, Dad, sorry, I lied. I lied because I quit my job. But I said, yeah, if it doesn't work out, I'll go back to my job, you know, and he's like,
Right.
okay, if that's the case. But I knew I wasn't going back.
Yeah. You knew, you're like, I'm never going back. But it's okay. We gotta tell parents what they want to hear sometimes. Oh my
That's it.
gosh. Yo, that's incredible. And I think, you know, Toby, we're also excited for you because if I'm not mistaken, you are on the brink of starting your own family right now.
No, the family started already. The family started already.
Hey,
Yeah, see my,
hey, look at that. Look at that.
yeah. So, and by the way, I thought I was gonna get married by the age of 24.
Okay.
Yeah, because kind of following my dad's pattern. So I'm like, okay, if my dad is 50 now and then his last born, I'm the last born. By the time my dad was 50, I was done with uni, I was done with everything. So my dad and I, by the time we wear Louis Vuittons and we're out there, they think we're brothers. And I'm like, I want that. I'm like, I
Yeah.
want that. And then, yeah, and to have that, pretty much you have to start your family pretty early. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, 24. But when I was 24, I was sitting in the bank earning like, my salary was like $200 plus. Like, yeah, so I'm like, man, the family is not gonna come like this. So when the opportunity came, first of all, I had to build myself or work on myself to the point where I felt like, okay, you know what, I can mentally, physically, financially support a family before getting involved in all of that. So I had to build myself mentally. You know, that was where the work was because I mean, I'm life of the party. I like to be out there. I like to meet people. I like to really so all of my personality traits necessarily they have to be fine tuned to be able to work well in a relationship, and that takes a level of maturity and work and you know being intentional. So I had to put in work on myself and even self-realization like you know what, all of how you are right now would complicate a relationship, so fine tune it and then you know do the relationship. So I was able to do that, and you know I found myself you know the best woman in the world, and you know thankful to God, and right now I'm married in a happy family and just doing what we do.
Oh, so cute. I love it. Well, we're all so excited for you and your gorgeous wifey.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I know the
Same.
internet was like blowing up when y'all were
Boom.
getting married. And it was just, you know, it's a beautiful thing to see. And like, and you are still like a really young guy, right? Like you're not even 30 years old yet. You
Yeah,
know, and for
I'm
you to be
27. 27.
yes, Exactly. I'm 31, Toby, so I got a couple years on you.
Still young, still young. Life starts at 50, so we're still good.
Exactly, exactly. So I just think it's so exciting how you've been able to be so successful, do the things that you want to do, have this amazing family support network and support system, and also be starting your own family as well. I mean, I think it's just super inspiring and motivating. And I think
It's a
that's the thing
blessing.
that yes, and that's the thing that draws like your fans, your followers, but also like these different brands and organizations to you. You know, people, everybody's trying to be involved. Like me, Nikki Banz, I'm trying to be involved. You know, that's why I'm trying to get you on the show, bro. You know,
I'm
so
here.
like I know, and I think it's so cool. So, and I know you do lots of partnerships and collaborations with all sorts of organizations. Like even like the collaboration you were working on, for in the public health space. That's the one that I
Yeah.
know you from. But also collaborations with with clothing companies, with liquor brands. Have there been any like specific partnerships or collaborations that have been like really special to you or that have really stood out to you over the years?
I think every one of them, because I see what I do right now as a blessing. Like people recognize this guy is of value and he can bring value to our brand. So that's not a recognition I take for granted. Like more than any financial reward or compensation that comes with it, just that recognition of we want to work with you. We see value in what you bring. Appreciating my creative mind and even the brand affiliation. Like okay, you know what, we see you, we see where your future is headed, and we believe in you. We want to affiliate with you. So that for me has just kind of been the blessing along the way. That's why I try my best to just, I like to have fun. I like to, but I try to just keep it within the fine lines of, who I am as a person. Because well, I've worked with quite a number of brands, for a short-term basis, long-term basis. And, for me, it's very key for every brand to look back at whatever relationship we had and be like, yeah, that was a great guy. Okay, he was good while he lasted, or yeah, we should bring him back on. So that's very key for me. So in terms of value, more than anything, for me, is value. Is the brand getting value? Am I also getting value? Because for me, sometimes the kind of brands you work with, it reflects on you as a person. So for me, I'm very particular about. It's not
Mm.
about them. It's really not about the money. Like I've turned down. In fact, and that was the thing I think I learned from my manager, Adora, at the when we started our branding relationship, because like she turned down a lot of stuff. I'm like, I can do that. And she's like,
Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
man, like, yeah, like get your head out of this temporary space, okay? Yeah, right now
Mm.
you're hungry for the money, you can do whatever, but like look at long term, man. How does it affect you long term? Will you be able to come out and say some things and people will respect what you're saying and believe what you're
Mm.
saying? You have to live the life, like live the exemplary life. So by the time and that's why I really feel eventually I'm going to get into motivational speaking. I just don't feel I'm
Okay.
that successful. Yeah, I'm not that successful yet. By the time, maybe I'm like, 20 years in marriage, I have my successful businesses here and there. Y'all gonna hear it, man. You're gonna hear it every day. I'm gonna go Gary Vee on you guys. So
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
so all of that. So I mean, it just helps me navigate through brands I work with and just making sure they get value because that's key for me. I don't want anybody to ever work with me and have the impression, oh, okay, maybe we should have gone with somebody else, or oh, we didn't expect that. When I hear we didn't expect that, like it's always positive. Like, oh, Toby, we didn't expect that. I'm like, yeah, man, you know what I come with.
Exactly. Expect the unexpected when it comes to
That's
Tobi
it.
Bakre. You never
That's
know.
it.
Like, and that's
Exactly. He
the
could
thing.
fly. He could swim. He could disappear, man. I do whatever.
I mean, literally, this is why I just love watching, like following your Instagram. I'm like, tonight you're cooking shrimp pasta. Tomorrow you're exercising. Tomorrow you're like walking, like jumping into a pool under. I'm just like, okay, like what can't this man do? Honestly,
that's
and like,
that's how
and it's
I feel like
cool.
that's how life should be, man. Nobody should go through life not experiencing all of what life has to offer, man. Life is
Hmm.
beautiful. We're blessed to be alive. And my major goal in life is by the time it's time, God says it's time, I just want to look back and be like, man, I lived a full life. Like I don't ever
Mm,
have, oh, I
mm.
wanted to do that, I didn't do it. No, I wanted to jump off a plane, I did it. I wanted to swim in the ocean. Yeah, I did it. I wanted to get married, have kids. Yeah, I did it. You
Mm.
just live a full life. Like everything that you think or comes to you, like, yo, I want to do this. Just do it, man, because we only have one life to live.
Exactly. No regrets at all. And I think again, that's just something that all of us can internalize and think about and try and move forward with. And no, I know that you like to do all these different things. I know that you do a lot of different things. But when I talk about like, you know, what are you really like passionate about? You know, what is that for you? Because I know you love the arts and I know you love entertainment, but like is there something that really drives you, Tobi? Like what's that underlying thing that you're really like, this is the thing that I care most about, or this is the thing that I'm working toward?
So it's funny because what I love about my life right now, what pushes me the most is the freedom to be able to do whatever, you
Mm,
know.
mm,
So it's not the acting, it's not the hosting, it's not the photography, it's not the painting, it's the free it's the fact that right now my life is at a point where I could wake up and say today, okay, I'm gonna take this acting project and do it or not do it. Or I can
mm.
wake up and say, you know what, tomorrow I want to travel and do some stuff and do it. Or I could be like, you know what, right now I want to learn IT, I want to learn coding, and I have the freedom to be able to do that. So for me, that's just the blessing and inspiration of it all. Like just being able to do whatever, because I don't feel personally I'm that kind of person you can box into, oh, strictly an actor. Like I like based on my
Right.
personality, I get exhausted when I'm doing the same thing over and over again. So right now I just love the fact that today I can be this, tomorrow I can be that,
Mm.
because in my whole lifetime I plan to be a lot of other things. I want to be very good at a lot of things, master at everything. I don't have to carry one on my head like that. So
Exactly.
yeah, so that's it for me, man. Just the freedom to wake up and be able to do whatever it is that fills my soul in that. Because life is a journey, man.
Mm,
We're moving
mm.
through time, and every face is gonna have a different you. So like, what pleases or makes me happy right now in the next quarter might be different. So like, just having that ability to be able to do whatever it is you want to do at the time, I feel happy and fulfilled with it. That's my blessing. That's my drive.
I think that's just it's so incredible, Tobi, because you're just like giving us that extra bit of motivation and inspiration to say that like you really can do all these things. Because and I
Yes,
guess
you
my
can.
next question for you then is gonna be like, what is your advice to people to try and navigate that? Because even if I think about myself, there's a hundred different things that I want to do and think I can do, but it's so easy to be stuck into these boxes in society, and it's
Yeah.
so easy to say like, oh, I'm in finance, oh, I'm in development, oh, I'm in entertainment. And it's like, well, like, how do you actually navigate that? What's your advice to folks like me or anybody? There's so many people who are in the chat being like, you're my mentor, you've mentored me so
Yeah.
much. Like, so many people are just saying that. So like, what is your advice for all of us out there trying to navigate a life where you actually are doing multiple different things and all the things that bring you joy?
So my advice is work your ass off at that one thing that gives you the money so you can buy your freedom. That's just,
Hey,
that's just it. That's just
hey.
that's just a simple fact of it, because you can't be doing so many things while you're hungry. You can't have your bills unpaid, your rent unpaid, and you're just trying to be adventurous with life. The truth is, you need to, like, I had to work in banking, man. Did I enjoy banking so much? Maybe not necessarily, but right then it gave me the and there's a popular saying in Nigeria, like, um it's just like you want to get married. If you stay in your house, you stay off social media, you're looking to get married, it's not going to happen. You have to put yourself out there. So, like, you have
Mm,
to be doing something. You have to be doing something. So, what the bank did for me was it gave me, like, my family in the bank, like, we are still family. Like, we are, everybody I worked with
mm.
in the bank, we're still like this. Like, I can call them up any day. They can call me up any day. And you know what? I didn't enjoy banking particularly, but that gave me exposure to learning a lot of things, how money works, how to, in fact, just even having the mindset of I need to earn my money. It's a blessing, you know. So I already had that mindset of, yo, I have to work for my money. And you know what? If I'm not enjoying this, make enough money, try other things. So because while I was in the bank, I started photography. So my salary in the bank was, like I said, like $200 thereabout. And then I started to do photography. And then with one photography gig, I've earned my month salary. With a good pay, I've earned 2 months salary on a photography gig. So you know what, I started to
Wow.
diversify, and not, and then it wasn't costing my current job, because I'll do 9 to 5 Monday. In fact, in Nigeria it's 5 to 9. I used to wake up 4:30 in the morning, and I used to get home by like 10. My dad used to fight me a lot for that. So it's
Wow.
like 5 to 9. So I did that just to save up money. So by the time I was going for Big Brother, I knew if I come out of the show and I don't win, at least I still have a bit of reserve to survive a few months, and then I still have my photography. So that's what you want to do. You want to focus on that one thing that's currently getting you paid, and at the same time, without really making the current job suffer, try and diversify. And then by the time you're making enough money, or whatever it is you're trying on the other hand starts to make you more money than the place that is having you feel stuck, then you divert, like you move on. So that's just it for me. So that one thing please get money, get paid. Not everybody's like, at the beginning of the journey, you don't have to love what you do. Please humble yourself, humble your mindset. At the beginning of it, you don't have to love what you do. If it's a responsible, you're earning an honest living and you're making some money, keep doing it till you find a better alternative. So don't fly in there. You're going to be you're going to be asking for too much help from different people. So, you just want to make sure you have financial reserve before you go and explore the world. So that's my advice.
Tobi, okay, so I've had lots of guests on this show, right? I have like 15 guests on the show, and you're the first person to say something like that, because I think like a lot of people, yeah, we want to follow our dreams, we want to follow our passions, but we live in a capitalist society. We live in this world where money does make the world go round. We do have bills to pay. We do gotta pay rent. We do gotta pay car insurance. So just to put yourself in that mindset, like to just be in that thing that's going to earn you the money so that you can do whatever you need to do and just hustle, just grind, work your ass off, like you said.
It costs money to live your dreams. It costs money.
Exactly.
It costs money. So, yeah.
Literally. I literally just had a friend, who bought this course to like level up her skills, and it's costing her like $1,000, like $1,000 to do this course. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, but she's like, this is my purpose, this is my passion. I know what's coming up next. You know what I mean? I know I have to invest in myself. So definitely. It does cost money.
Yeah. So something has to bring that money. Like right now, I'm considering IT. Like I'm getting interested in the whole IT space, and I'm like, okay. Well, if I'm not going to leave entertainment, but like if entertainment is not cutting it, if I don't feel fulfilled doing that anymore, like, I could port. Like today I could decide, what entertainment is a wrap. I want to do something else, and that's what I've done. By the way, when you start making I'm a finance guy. Please, if you're making 10 naira, you can save some of it. Like whatever you do in life, you can save money. So save, because it'll help you out like later on. So I'm too much of a motivational speaker. Save money.
We're ready.
Save money. This is December. Don't let this December take your savings. Keep money. You will need it. You invest. You will need it too. And you will need it.
Oh my God.
I got nice. I got that.
You got the horns. You
Yeah,
you dropped the bars for us, Tobi. You're giving us words of wisdom that we can all live by. We're ready for your motivational speaking, Tobi. Don't wait 20 years after your kids are all grown. Like we're ready. We're ready for it now, Tobi. Like let's launch. Let's go.
I hear you.
Oh my word. So I think it's been quite interesting for you being in the entertainment space, emceeing, shows and hosting and being in movies, things like that. But the past 2 years with the pandemic have been super complicated and really challenging for the entertainment space, for people who like to travel. We know you love to travel. We know you're a jet setter. So what was the transition like this past couple of years? Do you feel like it was quite difficult? Like, do you feel like gigs kind of slowed down, or were you kind of just like, we pivot and we keep moving?
I'm going to be honest. I don't think so. Pandemic did not necessarily affect me because when it first hit, a lot of things slowed down. There was a lot of uncertainty in the world, but I had a personal goal at the time, and luckily for me, I was. It just came at a time where priority for me was physical fitness, like getting my body in the best shape I think I could get it. That's simple. So what I did was, it was like 2-3 months when the pandemic hit. I was doing 6-kilometer runs every other day, and then work out. So every single day on my Instagram, it was there every single day. I'm doing so that kind of kept me, occupied. So I'm running. I'm trying to get my body and mind in shape, and then it was at a time where a lot of brands now had to move online, so people couldn't necessarily do things the dinosaur way anymore. So now everybody has to come online. You get me? So everybody was coming online, and it created job. I'm an influencer also, so part of my work is to put out your brand to people that can be like potential customers and consumers and stuff. So a lot of brands started to reach out, like, you know what, a lot of people are consuming social media content. We need. So I did get jobs during pandemic. I wasn't necessarily affected by the pandemic because acting, and that's the beauty of diversity. So I wasn't just an actor. I wasn't just a host. It was a bunch of other things. So while acting slowed down, sorry, I think my earplugs are out. While acting slowed down, a lot of other things didn't slow down. Media was buzzing. People were creating content. We're doing fitness. We're doing everything. So for me, yeah, that was the pandemic story for me. So and gradually things started to pick up. We started to do movies again. We started to host shows again, and where we are now. Omicron is out now, trying to slow things down again. But you know what? Omicron don't get nothing on us.
Thank you.
We gonna be good.
We gonna be good. Down, Omicron. We're good. We're good. Okay, but I think this to me is that growth mindset. It's the power of positivity, and it's also just this personality that you have. You're just like, okay, pandemic, I see you. I'm gonna one up you, and I'm gonna keep making new content. I'm gonna pivot what I'm doing. Work with brands who are coming out of the Stone Age and coming onto the internet, and
that's what
do
it's
what I
gonna
need to do. Exactly. So Tobi, the last question that I want to ask you before I throw it over to the fans who are here on the IG live. We got about 160 folks tuned in on the live right now. Shout out all y'all. We love you. We're seeing that you dropped questions below. So remember, I'm going to ask Tobi all of your questions coming up in just a moment here. So if you're looking at the bottom of your phone right now, you got the little thought bubble with the little question mark in it. Click on that and you can type a question, and I will ask Tobi your questions in just a moment. But the last question that I'll ask you for now before we throw it over to our adoring fans here is, so like what's next for you? What should we be looking out for? What's on the horizon? What's in the pipeline? Like, what should we be keeping an eye out for as your fans, your friends, and your followers?
Okay, so the most recent project I'm in fact more than proud of, like, it's not out yet. In fact, I don't know what the end result is like yet, but I know how much work went into that project. There's a movie gonna come out hopefully next year. It's called Gangs of Lagos. Like, I get goosebumps when I think about it. It was produced by Jade Oshiberu, and then we had a lot of other amazing Nigerian talents on it. Adesua, Bimbo, Funke Williams, Chike, like amazing people. And then we had the best director in the world, Jade Oshiberu. And then that's a project, like, I feel like it's just going to be one of the, in fact, for me already, when you do so much work and you love a project so much, like, it's not even the flowers, it's not the accolades. It already feels like a feather in my heart, rather. And so it just holds a special place in my heart because, being able to, in my acting career, like, not a lot of people have been able to just trust me with a lead role because I'm not the traditional actor. For people that come off a platform like Big Brother, when you come off, a lot of people give you movie roles not necessarily because of your talent. They just realize the commercial value you hold at that moment, and you're like, okay, if this guy's on the movie, his fans are gonna want to watch. So I've had that phase, and then someone like Jade, who is very intentional, trusting me with a lead role in a major movie it meant the world to me. Because all this while I've still been acting, with the hopes of, I'm doing, like, whatever I want to do or whatever it is I'm doing, I want to get to the height of it. So for acting, I want to get to the height of it. Photography, eventually I want to get to the height of it. Everything, hosting, I want to get to the height of it. So for someone like that to trust me with a lead role, and after we finished shooting, she's like, I'm not disappointed. And you know what? I got a comment, like, from one of the executive producers on the project, and he came to me and he's like, when they told him they were gonna audition or give me the lead role, he's like, man, he's not sure he wants to put his money in this anymore. Like, he's not, like, I love Tobi and all, but like,
wow,
do Tobi got it? Like, no hate, but like, do Tobi got it? And then it just came to me like, I'm glad I was so wrong, and he gave me like a handshake. For me, nothing beats that kind of moment. Nothing will beat those for me. So I feel like it's something you guys should look forward to. you know, if that was the last movie I ever acted, I'm happy doing that. So like, it's definitely something you guys should look forward to. And then in the future, I mean, it's just gonna be more of me doing things I love. I want to do more of painting. I'm a painter, so I paint artworks. You know, I've sold a few.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to express myself more on the art side of life, on the photography. I slow down on photography, you know, and I want to pick back up on it because I still have my camera and I still love to take pictures. Like I love art, I love creativity, so I still want to keep doing all of that stuff. So yeah, and right now I'm like, technology is moving so fast and so diverse. Like, yo, I'm trying to also get into technology and, like, you know, learn a thing or two and see what I can do with it. So like, there are no bounds when it comes to my person. So I can't tell you what to expect, but just expect great things, you know, for me, for you, because I also want to be able to encourage and inspire other people, you know, touch lives by just living my life. If I can put it that way.
We are absolutely expecting great things. We always have, and we always will, Toby.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be keeping an eye out for your painting, for your photography, for your movies. I saw somebody ask in the chat, say the name of the movie one more time.
Gangs of Lagos, and then there's also the Blood Covenant. But watch out for both, but watch out for Gangs. Well, it's easy, man. When it's out, you're gonna know it's out. Gangs of Lagos, man. Gangs of Lagos.
We're so ready. We are so ready. Oh my gosh, you got us so hyped now. We're like we're waiting with bated breath. Oh my goodness. All right, Toby, I want to pass it over to the fans now. We got a bunch of questions in here, so I'm just gonna read all the questions on here, and we're just gonna read them. Oh my gosh, there's lots of good questions in here. I'll start with the easy ones. First question you already answered, but I'll ask you again. First question is, how old are you?
I'm 27, 1st of June, 1994. Young dude.
Okay, we got the full birthday there. Okay, first.
Yeah.
June, okay.
And by the way, let me just talk. Like, a lot of Nigerians doubt my age.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if I look old or I sound too mature, or maybe it's the achievements. Like, even not for my older brother, like, thank goodness my older brother actually looks young and looks his age. Even not for my older brother, the Nigerians might actually not believe my age. Like, on my birthday, whenever I post happy birthday to me, I'm so today, you see comments like, oh, if you are 27, that means my grandmother is 18. I'm like, and like, if you bet on that, you're gonna lose money. If you bet heaven and hell on that, you're in hell.
Yeah, exactly. You can lose money on that bet.
But I take it as a compliment. I just take it as a compliment. Like, yeah, you must be doing well for a 27-year-old. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you absolutely are. I'll tell you where I was at 27, and it wasn't where you're at, my friend. But it's cool. You know, we getting there. Okay. What's the next question? Okay, next question, probably an easy one. The question, this is coming from Mwase5. Toby, have you relocated to the United States?
No. Nigeria is still based. I'm just here, like, for me, like, I've never actually been out of Nigeria for more than 2 weeks. So, like, I'm just really here in a different space, trying to, you know, open my mind up. That's one of the major reasons why I'm here. There's other reasons, but, like, one of the reasons is, you know, I just want to experience a different environment and, you know, intentional too. A lot of what's happening in Nigeria right now, I'm not necessarily happy about. You know, being in that cloud can be a bit. So I've worked hard to be able to afford the means to, you know, sometimes take a break. So, and I also love to see the world, but this time around, I really want to see how, because a lot of things people have been able to do in Nigeria are things they've kind of witnessed in other countries. So I'm coming here and I'm like, okay, if I stay a bit longer, you know, I can see or learn a system that might benefit my people, you know, outside of what comes originally, like, see how things function here and they function properly, and, you know, how can we take it back home, you know, because we have a lot of talent but we don't have structure. So for me, it's just coming here to just open my mind and also relax. It's end of the year, you know, I could put my foot in the pool and just chill.
Oh my God! Put your foot in the pool. Isn't it winter in the United States right now?
Yeah, it is. But I mean, right now I'm in Georgia, and Georgia isn't too cold. The pool is cold, but cold. So my feet in the pool, I'll still be fine.
Well, I'm one to talk. I be taking, like, cold water ocean dips in the Atlantic Ocean in Cape Town, and it's freezing. So I'm one to talk. Put your foot in the Georgia water. It's fine. It's not as cold as the Atlantic.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Some other comments. We got lots of people just being like, Toby, my G. People are like, not a
Oh,
question, just
love, man.
super.
Like, don't play, man. Like, the beautiful thing about the fans I have now is that these are the people that really rock with me. Because coming off of the reality show, a lot of things happened that kind of shook off people that were not so. Because a lot of people, when you come off a show like that, a lot of people just want to follow the story. They want to follow that story from the show, and then I kind of shook it off. And then, so a lot of people that were still interested in the show, I wasn't leaving the show anymore. I was doing me. So a lot of people that support me right now and follow me are people that are like really tuned to me. So like, I love you guys and I thank you guys. Thanks for the support over the years. Like even for you guys, I won't be commercially. I will still be popping, but I won't be commercially popping. So thanks to you guys, I'm still commercially popping.
Hey, that's true. Always gotta show love to the fans, to the followers. And there are a lot of questions in here that people are asking about the show, hey? But there's also other ones that I think are quite interesting. We got someone, Shop Zinana. She's saying, I think this is a quite interesting question for you. She's asking, how can the entertainment industry show more support for women?
Already that's happening already. That is like no doubt that's happening already. I feel like even in the entertainment space, like women are more empowered. Like not to put it like on, but just my personal opinion. I feel like right now women have a louder voice than the men. Like women, like there's no entertainment in Nigeria outside of what the women are doing. Like look at Moabu.
Okay.
Like the biggest actors, the biggest producers, you have a lot of women in those spaces. Like one of my favorite producers, Jade Oshiberu, that's a woman. One of the entertainment idols, Ebony Live. Like you have them out there. So like women are ably and 100% represented, 100%, like 150% represented in the entertainment. Like there's no Nigerian entertainment without the Nigerian women or the African women. So on that note, like y'all have it. We're here supporting. We're supporting you people.
Okay. I love that the support is there. I love that the ladies are there. For me, as long as they're being paid the same as the men, then I'm cool. Or more.
They get paid more. I don't know what everybody's getting, but I feel like they get paid more because, I mean, who wants to turn on their TV and be looking at just men? But like, put a bunch of women there. Like, we want to hear what they have to say. Like, women are naturally interesting. Naturally interesting. So that's God has given people that one. So.
Oh my gosh. I love that. Shout out to all the ladies out there in the entertainment space, in Nigeria, in Nollywood, in the world. We love it. We love to see it. We got a question on here, and I don't know if this is like, public information or not, but there's a question here from 548 Joy. Are you and wifey expecting a boy or a girl?
What's wrong? Don't you like surprises? Don't you like surprises? This person like I'm a boy. Hey, oh my goodness.
Hey,
so yeah, I'm married, wife is pregnant. On gender, I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna have to wait for that.
You don't want to do the release, the announcement here on NIKKI BANZ Live.
NIKKI BANZ, I owe you one, but not this one. Like as much as possible, I still enjoy the privacy I have. So y'all don't try to take it from me. Let me enjoy some things in my living room that only me and my people know. So allow me, okay?
Yes. That's brilliant. That's the best answer that I could have gotten to that question, Toby. I love it, dude. You're so funny, yo. I love it. So no behind the scenes scoop on the gender reveal of the baby, but that's okay. We're gonna find out when we find out. Okay. The one of the other thing, another question on here. We got all sorts of great questions. There's one on here that says, "What makes you happy?" This is from Iconic. Omowunmi says, "What makes you happy?"
If you know me, don't play with my happiness, please. Don't play with my freedom. Don't play with my happiness. So I feel happiness is, I don't mean to sound like a motivational speaker, but I just feel like it's intentional. You know the things that make you happy. You know the things that get you sad. you know. And in times where you can't control it, I think you can just actually make it a decision and just choose to be happy. Because being alive is a blessing. Like when you're dead is when it's all over. So for me, once you don't have a problem that money can't solve, you know, once you're alive, you know, there's hope. You know, there's hope. And for people that do believe in God, like, you know, by the time you just trust God with everything, you just live a happier life. So me personally, like I trust in the manifestations or the blessing God has already. Like when I pray to God, I just thank God most of the time because I believe every other thing has been ordained. You know, you just have to tap into it. You have to believe in it for it to manifest for you. So that's how I live my life. So there's no other way to live but be happy. Of course, there are going to be down times. You know, things can go your way certain times. You know, some people might get into your way, but you know, you have to rise above it. It's a decision. Choose to be happy. Know how to work with people, or know the extent or boundaries you give people that kind of get in your happiness space. And just what people don't know is it's not dependent on anybody else but you. Like nobody, you can't hold somebody else or other people to the like for your own happiness. You can't hold them to that. Your happiness is totally, and if you can stay happy, trust me, you will attract a lot of things, a lot of great things in life that will just keep you happy. So be intentional about your happiness and other things will follow. It's just like people being in a room. If we're in a meeting room, for instance, like, and I have someone really smiling and with a happy vibe, you're gonna get my business over the most beautiful person or the person with a bad attitude or the person being grumpy for one reason or the other. Like happy vibe, happy life.
Yeah,
That's it.
happy vibe, happy
Happy
life.
life.
Yes, brilliant advice there. And I think that last part that you said about setting boundaries for yourself, making sure that the people
Very
in your
important.
space
Very
and
important.
those energies is correct. So important. And also, like, you know, most of my career before I started the show and started pivoting into content creation was in partnerships, right? And it would be the exact same thing. Like I would literally be like, look, at the end of the day, I don't care how much money you're offering. I don't care like what you're bringing to the table. If I actually don't like you, I'm not gonna partner with you. That's just
Yeah.
how it's gonna be.
And also
Like,
that comes with like knowing yourself. You know, I think that's the difficult part too, because there are points where you have to be 100% genuine and honest with yourself. So me particularly, in the first few years where I started to have to teamwork, I was a horrible. I think I'm better now. I was a
okay.
horrible team player.
Oh
Like
no.
yeah, because I used to I came up with the mindset of get it done by yourself. So I built a lot of self-sufficiency. So I like to do things myself. So if I'm coming to the table with an opinion, you know, unknown to me, I'm being a bit aggressive, like I'm almost imposing and not recognizing other people's opinion or letting other people have their way. So like it took a lot of, you know, after a few altercations back in the, you know, when I was in training school back in the bank, and you know, I had to sit back, like, you know what, how can I make this better? Are they the problem or am I the problem? Because initially I'm like, they're the problem, they're the problem. Why can't they understand that when you add 1+1 and divide it by 2, you still get 1? Like, what are these people not seeing? Are they not seeing it? And you know, I had to chill back and be like, you know what, even if you're right, there's a way you can pass the message and they feel like they also won with you. So like I used to approach everything with mindset of I want to win. So I had to lean back and learn, you know what, you might be right, but you have to also involve them. You have to, you know, people relationship is very important too. So sometimes your happiness, you might be the problem. Sometimes it might be the problem. So always be able to be honest with yourself and, you know, be humble enough, like admit it when you're the problem and just, you know, get better.
Right, 100%. These themes like humble, keeping good energies around, collaboration, having great relationships. These are these gems that we're getting from this show with you today, Tobi. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I know we only have about 2 minutes left. So let me just ask.
It's 1 hour already. What?
I know, it's crazy. I'm like, you know, we just been talking like. Tobi, I feel like we've known each other for like years. I'm like, oh, we're just chopping it up, you know. Hey, mom, hey, dad, like we're just chilling.
I don't think I've done any. Have I done lives this year? But like, this is definitely my most interesting live this year. Tops every like. Nah, I love it. It's been amazing having this chat with you.
Oh, thank you so much, Tobi, and for me, from my side, thank you so much for hopping on NIKKI BANZ Live. It's been such a pleasure. You're my very first guest from Nigeria, so you're putting Nigeria on the map for everybody. Hey, you know, it's just It's so incredible to have you here, and this is just the beginning, man. Like, however we continue to collaborate and work together, we're gonna find a way. We'll meet up in person one day for sure, and I cannot wait. So just thank you for
Definitely.
hopping on.
On the final note, please, on my last post, man, please, in any way you guys can, it's also a USAID mission. It should be all of our mission. Help me put a stand against gender-based violence. You know, I was reading, like, because I like to read up on stuff. So when the topic came out, you know, I had to enlighten myself a little bit. So and it's like 1 out of 3, almost 1 out of 3 women, you know, have been a victim of gender-based violence. And, you know, the impact on, you know, having putting myself in their shoes, like that would put a lot of fear into me. And really, I might not achieve the heights I'm positioned to attain in life. So I think it's very important for all of us to, you know, put a voice behind this, and in different ways. You know, you can support people that have been victims. You know, you can social media, you know, talk, let's raise awareness around this, because it's still going on. Like, as much as we've been talking about it and it's everywhere on the internet, you know, in conversations in different rooms, it's still happening, and in every shape, form and manner it's still happening. So we need to strongly stand up against this and let people come out and have the freedom to speak out, you know, speak their truth, and then get justice, you know, and then build the confidence to really be great in life, live full life. We all deserve to live full life. So please go to my last post, and by any way necessary, in any way you choose to do it, read up on it, look at how you can help, and just do the little you can, man.
Tobi, thank you so much for bringing that up. At the end of the day, the only way we're going to end gender-based violence and violence against women and girls is when we have male allies, when we have men like yourselves who stop cycles of toxic masculinity, when we have men who stand up to other men and say, this is not the way, this is not right. So for you to come here right now on the show and say that is so, so important. And this is a critical message, not just in Nigeria, but especially here in South Africa, especially in the United States, all over the world. So let's do all of us, let's do our best and chip in to make sure that we are ending GBV, ending femicide, and doing our best to just let women and girls live the beautiful lives they're meant to lead.
That's simple.
Thank you. That's simple. Yo, Tobi, thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for hopping on NIKKI BANZ Live. And I'm going to catch you again very soon.
All right. Take care. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye, Tobi. Bye, everybody. This is NIKKI BANZ Live every single Tuesday. We'll catch you next week, party people.